This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it, so the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.
I can say with full confidence, after combining what we have learned throughout this investigation to be a fact, and after now speaking with employees who were let go in this recent string of aggressive firings, employees that did nothing or weren't told that they did anything. They certainly were not the people that were leaking to me. That I do believe firmly from the beginning that ERIKA was intimately involved in the PR messaging and the PR campaign at different times against me, sometimes against the entire world, but against me in particular. Just to recap why this is now suddenly important, no one's picking on her. We have confirmed for a fact that she lied. She lied to my face, actually, regarding the Superman neck. She blamed that on Andrew Colvett, said that he went rogue, that Dr. Lee Trotter also went rogue, violated HIPAA, that they hopped on the phone and did this without her consent or knowledge. Then on top of that, Andrew then sends out a tweet. I told you, confirmed to you, the doctor did not violate HIPAA. It was actually a three-way call, and the statement pertaining to Superman neck came from her. Andrew Colvett, in that regard, was doing ERIKA's bidding. He was taking a figurative bullet for her. She did not misspeak there. There's no way to look around it. She lied. She lied right to my face when she said that. She knew that HIPAA, he didn't violate HIPAA. She lied to a doctor, a surgeon, and she knew that she was on that call. So let's just say that clearly. We've also now confirmed that she was at the Hamptons retreat, the now infamous Hamptons retreat. She was present when Bibi Netanyahu called. And that bothers me because I was out here catching a lot of heat for telling the truth. Now, we have two different versions of that story. Andrew Colvett said that Bibi offered to fund Turning Point to the next level. I have since confirmed what Andrew Colvett said with two people that are not related to Andrew Colvett at all. ERIKA, despite being at that dinner and confirming that she was there, does not remember that part. She says that there was not an offer that was made and that Bibi was calling about the letter that Charlie wrote him back in May. Andrew confirmed to me that Charlie described that summit as like an intervention was being staged over Israel. So I find that to be interesting. Again, with everything that we now know, my assumption was she didn't wade into things, didn't wade into the water, and didn't say anything about the debate that was happening because she was so overwhelmed and kind of catching her breath as the new CEO and chairman. I think now I have a different perspective on that. I'm not sure why she did not come out and say, if she was capable of doing calls and sitting down and doing meetings, come out and say, like, yes, this Hampton Summit did happen. Yes, Bibi did call, and try to work through with Andrew why they have different memories of whether or not he called to fund things to the next level. We have also confirmed that ERIKA and Andrew were working together on that Fort Huachuca PR response. It was the craziest tax I've ever endured. Alex Jones, quite entertainingly, he's coming for me my whole life, everything. But that PR response was confirmed that she was a part of that through this obscure YouTuber, Paramount Tactical, rather than going directly to me after we sat down. That, to me, seems like a pretty strong violation of a well-meaning conversation that I had with her for 4 hours. And I should also mention that that was the same YouTuber, despite also going into Mitch's entire past, Mitch knows past. But after calling for a ceasefire and saying, let us sit down and talk, they welcomed Paramount Tactical onto Charlie Kirk's podcast show while I was in this hotel room to debunk me. I had no idea it was happening. And then that's, I think, was the beginning.
And I see a lot of people saying this. She has transitioned. She is the epicenter of this whole discussion. Charlie Kirk really is not, she doesn't care about Charlie. It's everything against her. You were at the Hamptons. You knew what they said about me. This, that, and the other. You knew what they were saying about me. I was receiving attacks, and you didn't do this. Everything is about her. This whole thing now has main character syndrome has gone into the stratosphere, and it's all about Candace.
When it clicked to me, seeing that him being caught live, Andrew Colvett live messaging something from ERIKA after she told me that they were disappointed in Andrew, that he wasn't going to be involved in PR anymore. That's when I realized that I was being lied to, that she was making moves behind the scenes. And the answer that we will likely never get, to add one more point here, is whether Andrew was lying or ERIKA was confused. And I would like to say that I don't believe Andrew was lying. I believe Andrew was telling me the truth when he said that when he stepped off of the plane in Provo on September 10th, he basically collapsed into ERIKA's arms, crying on the tarmac because he had all this pent-up emotion, had this big plane. Everyone was messaging him about Charlie, asking for his status. He didn't know what was going on. And the impression that I got was that Andrew was on that plane alone. But then we were later told that Andrew was accompanied by his wife. But ERIKA, during our face-to-face meeting, had no recollection of his wife stepping off of the plane. When I asked, I said, was he with his wife? She was unable to answer that question as to whether or not Andrew flew in with his wife to Provo. How is that possible? Is Andrew lying about that? Or is ERIKA misremembering? What we know thereafter is that when they arrived at the hospital, after waiting for an hour, if Andrew is to be believed, then she waited for an hour on the tarmac for Andrew's flight to land. They arrived at the hospital and went in through.
Can we agree that the only person she's mentioned more than herself is Andrew so far? That's why I'm saying, Andrew Colvett, I understand you meant well, but bruh, y'all need to stop engaging with this woman. This is ridiculous. All of the stuff that, and I'm wondering, is she trying to drive a wedge between Andrew Colvett, TPUSA, ERIKA, and others? Because she's making Andrew sound like a mole at this point. This is sounding like mole activity.
Through separate entrances. Andrew went through the front, main entrance where there were other TPUSA staff there, people that were there on that day, and ERIKA went in through a back or side entrance. These are the facts, okay? If they disturb you, then you should know that you are not alone. The world obviously melted down yesterday when we played the corporate-wide call hosted by ERIKA to Turning Point employees following the memorial event. The overwhelming consensus, the human response to that is that you feel disturbed when you listen to it, spiritually disturbed by the emotion of it, the happiness. Speaking about merchandise being sold, hats being sold. Again, this is not a sales call. This is the entire team on the phone. This new corporate-wide call that I'm going to share with you today took place even earlier so that you can go back into your time machines. It took place just 5.5 days after Charlie was pronounced dead. 5.5 days later. The date is September 16th. This is when Turning Point USA employees are told that ERIKA is going to be replacing Charlie as the CEO and chairman. The public is going to be informed a day later on September 17th in a public letter signed off by Doug DeGroot, who's on the board. And I should be clear that when Doug DeGroot, going backward and looking at the announcement, he makes it very biblical, which is a common theme here. Everything is it's about, this is what God has ordained. Here is the letter. Just going to read the top here. It reads in Ecclesiastes, King Solomon wrote that mankind is to be tested by God. Today we are facing such a test, yet we also know that God has prepared us with everything that we need to overcome this ordeal. It was the honor of our lives to serve as board members of Charlie's side. Charlie prepared all of us for a moment like this one. He worked tirelessly to ensure Turning Point USA was built to survive even the greatest tests, and now it is our great pride to announce ERIKA Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board for Turning Point USA. Okay, so I want you to remember that. It's like going, I don't even remember that letter at all, so that's why I'm showing it to you. It's King Solomon, and it's, this is what God wants. Okay.
Wow.
Now, this decision, like I said, published on the 17th, was actually voted upon earlier. I know because Andrew Colvett told me before the public knew that the board had selected ERIKA within about 72 hours of Charlie's death.
We go. Andrew need to come up here to the front of the church too. Y'all, we got to have a conversation about Andrew.
On the phone with him, already concerned by the obvious attempt from people who hated Charlie previously, now committing themselves publicly to taking over his legacy, filling in his boots, picking up his bloody mic. And Andrew reassured me that the decision had already been made and that it was ERIKA that was going to take over. And in my aggrieved state, I said, okay, great, amazing. Thank God. I'm so happy to hear that. So I'm so happy that none of these people who literally hated him are going to try to sit in his chair. Now, in hindsight, practically speaking, this means that within a space of about 72 hours, someone approached ERIKA and thought that the right thing to ask or say was, hey, know you're going through a lot right now, but is it okay if we put your name up for the position of CEO, and can we put that to a board vote today? Are you willing and able to take over as the chairman and the CEO in Charlie's stead? To which ERIKA had to have replied, yes, she had to give her consent for that to go up for a board vote. Okay, that's just a fact that happened.
Okay, see, she's just going to say that that's a fact. We have no reason to believe anything that she said so far is true. So let me make sure I have this right. Charlie Kirk, with all of his boy genius powers, did not have a succession plan already in place. Right? Did not have anything in place. She's making it sound like ERIKA did this on her own and there wasn't anything in place. And we don't know that there was or that there wasn't. Well, all we're hearing is from you, Candace, and we have no idea where you're getting this information from. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.